I'm at the South Edisto Boat Ramp here in Aiken on the Edisto River. Plan is to go from here to the state park. Never been down here before. I've done all of the river from Aiken State Park down to literally the ocean in this kayak, actually. So my goal is to knock this section of river out. It's like 11 miles. I've already recorded this video once, but my phone was still connected to my truck, so you couldn't hear me talking. But my goal is to do the whole river, and I'm doing it section at a time for what the sections I hadn't done. Beth dropped me off here. I left my truck at Aiken State Park. So it's a rainy day. We're gonna see how far I can make it down. Hopefully I can make it all the way. There are 2 bridges in between, so if I need to, and I just get tired of it, I can call her and she can just come get me there at one of those 2. But yeah, I'm in it. We're gonna do it. Get this section knocked out, and then maybe next weekend we can do another section on up until we get to the little creek that actually feeds this river. See how far north we can get. We're going down on this section today. We'll give y'all updates as we go. Y'all pray that it stops raining for me. Well, that didn't take long. I've hit my first portage. I was luckily able to sneak under that tree. So obviously this tree I'm standing on, had to pull over. So this video will most likely just consist of several portages. Portage number 1. Gone through quite a few strainers, but I'm at my next portage. So this one's gonna be quite technical, because not only do I have to get over this really big freaking tree, I've got to get through all that right there. There is a little overflow that kind of goes behind it, but I'm not so sure that it comes back to the river like I want it to, and it just might be more trouble than it's worth, so going straight over the big log. Y'all wish me luck. I think it's portage number 3 that I've recorded. Now I have skidded across a few logs without having to get out, but this is the next conjunction, and this is what I call a swamp portage, because there wasn't no way I was putting my boat through all that to get to the other side. So I can skinny it on through here. I'm gonna take you and walk it with me once I pick my route, because you've got to find a way through these cypress knees as well. I think we'll go this way. We'll walk, still in the swamp here. I got to get across this little overflow creek and back into the main river. We're making it. It sucks, and me and the weatherman's gonna have some words, because the rain was supposed to stop at 9 and it just got harder at 9. I'm just saying, it's 9:10. Need to cut that shit out. Made it through. Back here at the river, about to sit down in the boat. Probably go another 2 bands before we get another one. Pray that this rain stops. I think this would make portage number 4. This one's really not a bad one. It's just a log across the river. Got to hop out, pull over, and hop back in. At least I don't have no crazy limbs all over the place. But I've been going through it. It's still raining. Still raining. No signs of stopping either. So I guess we're just gonna be wet today. I did bring a change of clothes in my dry bag in case it does happen to kind of dry up, so I can get dry. I got a towel and everything, but ain't looking like it right now. Let me get on over this log. This is number 5, and this is a double, which means I'm pulling over this log, and then after I get over this log, I got to shimmy on down to that log, like float like 2 feet, and get over there to that log and pull over that log as well. But I will say I have gone quite a few bends without having one of these. So my video is getting about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So I am going to pull over this, but I'm not going to show you that part, because I mean, it's just I'm one man, but I'm getting through this. I'm going to end the video here. I'll bring you back here in a little bit though, so y'all keep watching. Y'all take care. I'm about 1/4 of the way down to the first bridge. Remember, there's 2 bridges in the middle, and then Aiken State Park. I'm taking out at the head of their canoe and kayak trail, not at the bridge there, because I've already done their canoe and kayak trail and covered that part of the river. The rain is easing up a bit, so that's positive. I'm soaking ass wet. I should have put my wallet in my dry bag. It slipped my mind. I was trying to get on the water quick because it was raining. But y'all pray for me. Let's hope it stops raining. If it stops raining enough, I'm going to change clothes about lunchtime. Alright. So luckily, I hadn't had to get out the boat since the last talk to you. But I have hit a bunch of little cut throughs. So like the main river is behind me. This is a little cut through here. There's a tree across the river over there. But this cut through cuts around it. I've done that like 5 or 6 times. Now the river here, because the water's high, hadn't been that bad, knock on wood. Let me go ahead and knock on this tree, just for some good luck. So if it was lower, I wouldn't be able to cut through. I would have had to probably have gotten out the boat probably another 5 or 10 times by now if the water wasn't as high as it is now. So I'm kind of fortunate in that. The rain hasn't stopped completely, but it's definitely slacked off some. I'm still soaking wet. I did get a chance when the rain calmed down to put my wet wallet in my dry bag with my snacks, because my snacks aren't open, so they're not going to get wet in the dry bag anyway. And I got rid of my charger and everything that I had here. I still got my bug spray, but kind of lessen the weight of my little half skirt. But I'm making pretty good time, I feel like. I mean, if you take into account I'm pulling over the logs and everything, I didn't expect to do this fast. But it's 10 o'clock right now, and I've seen one really cool house down here on the edge of the river. I didn't show it to you because I try to respect people's privacy and stuff. But yeah, now that the rain's not as terrible as it was, it's decent. I did get stung by something. I don't really know what. I just know I got a whelp on my arm. But that kind of happens when you're going through the crap that I've been going through, because I'm telling you, it's like I've been going through trees, in trees, around trees, over trees, under trees, beside trees, every which way but loose. I wanted to give you an update. I'm going to get through this little cut through and kind of show you what the river looks like. So here's the thing about cut throughs. Cut throughs are just little cuts through the swamp to get you back to the main river, to try to get you around a bad bend. A lot of them have a lot of cypress knees. So let's see if I can make it through this maze of cypress knees. Because the problem with cypress knees is most of the time they don't move. So even though it looks like I can paddle through there, if I can't skinny my boat between them, I'm going to be stuck. So even though I had to play bumper boats back here behind me with them cypress knees, I made it through the cut through and back at the main river. And as you can see out in front of me here, this is what I deal with, because that's like not a portage. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not like a portage or anything, but you do have to go through all them limbs. Most of them break when you hit them or bend enough for you to get through, but it still leaves the boat looking a mess with all these leaves and stuff. But it's better than getting out, so there is that. I'm going to continue to make my way. There's a little swirly catfishing looking spot right there. Anyway, a little ADD. It's all right. I'm going to continue on my way. I'll give you an update if I come to something interesting. Another thing I have been seeing too is a lot of these, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's spider webs everywhere, because nobody's been down here, obviously. I'm the only one crazy enough to do stuff like this. And because of that, there's a lot of spider webs on the river. But so when you take a cut through, you might wind up like I am right now. If you can kind of see behind me, it's just swamp. It started out as a creek. It just kind of funneled into the swamp. I did it because there was a big limb across, or big log across the thing that I didn't want to get through because it had a lot of limbs hanging over it. It was going to be complicated. Well, I'll just paddle through the swamp, follow a little cut through creek. Now it's starting to come back into a creek, but if I kind of pan you left and right, you can see it's basically just all out through the swamp. It's not deep at all either. So you just kind of float it until you can. I could see the river out of the left over there. Like I said, it's starting to creep back down, but I could take this right, or I could go left. I'm gonna go left. Hopefully it shoots me back into the river soon. I think I might see a river entrance up here. No, I'm literally just in the middle of the swamp right now, edging the river. I think I can get back to the river right here. You don't want to stay in the swamp too long, because what'll happen is it'll look like it's going to flow the swamp forever, and then unbeknownst to you, it'll just fizzle out at some point, and then you'll be stuck in the middle of the swamp, and sometimes you can't even find the river. But yep, there's my little cut through, and there's a big old freaking spider right there. I'm gonna try to duck underneath this web. Made it. So this is kind of what paddling is down here. So very, very river-like when you're in the river, except for all the trees and stuff. I'm gonna try to switch you around. So I don't know if you can see all that mess behind me, but that's what I didn't want to go through, and that's why I hit the cut through. So there's that. It's still raining, but not raining as bad. That's why I was able to put my phone on the mount for a little bit. Try to at least show you some river footage of what I'm going through here. So, just had a mosquito fly in my eye. But it's a lot of getting through stuff like what you see ahead of you. Like, it's just a mangled mess of stuff, and you kind of just got to pick a way through it and then just kind of go for it. Because it's not clear at all. So I'm going to hit this little joint here. Slide over this, bump off that log. There's a little bit of a tunnel right there that I'm going to try to hit through these branches. Keeping a really close eye on my damn phone. I don't want it to knock off the mountain fall in the river. And there you go. Whew. Made it through that. Only to have something like that. And when that happens, we decide to take the right instead of the left. I think that's a future cut through that got cut off by a tree. So I'm going to take it over here, and hopefully this route will be a little clearer. But it's peaceful down here. I think I'm the only one on the river because of the weather, but it's actually pretty decent temperature because of the time of year. It's rain's cooled it down. It's normally like 95, 98 degrees. So despite being wet, the temperature is very nice. So I could go right through the cut through there, but I think I'm going to stick left here. The left looks more main riverish. And I don't see anything immediately that I'm going to have to deal with to get through. So that's really my strategy when I'm down here. I try to stick to the main river as much as I can, unless I have a big major conundrum. As you can tell up here, I kind of do. I don't know if I can make it through underneath that or not. I might turn around and hit the cut through. Anyways, that's for me to figure out and for me to put my phone down. So I'll bring you back, give you another update here in a little bit. So I'm at another portage. This one was just high enough that I couldn't go under it, or just low enough I couldn't go under it, just high enough where I didn't even have a shot in hell in jumping it. The hard part about this is, because it's so far off, getting that boat up over it is also a challenge. Of course, the lower part over there has got limbs blocking it, so I can't utilize it. I might be able to slip it underneath here, but whew, I'm soaking wet. About 3/4 of the way to the first bridge. It's 11:19 right now. I've been making pretty good way. I've seen quite a few deer, pretty big bucks. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I've seen an 8-point, a 10-point, and then one I couldn't identify. It was running too fast. Laid up right by the river. I mean, I let me get right up on them, and then they gone. But I'm gonna see if I can skidoo under this. I'm probably gonna try to pull it under, to be honest with you, and then catch it on the backside and everything. But I couldn't get in the swamp and get around this one. I've been able to skirt in the swamp around a couple of them. So it's been quite nice. But this is not as bad as I thought it would be. Like I said, knock on wood, because I've been able to get through the swamp and get around some stuff. But this one's gonna get me. Anyways, I wanted to give you a little update. I'm not gonna end this video quite yet, so hang on. Next update will either be something interesting or this bridge that crosses the river. So y'all hang on. For those that were curious, I was able to get my kayak under this tree. I'm about to drop down in it. You can tell, got water in the seat still. My undies is wet because it's been raining. Bring it back to something cool. Well, I ain't quite made it to the bridge yet, but I'm at another portage. But I got to get over this one, and then I got to skim across that one, and then I'll turn it around for you. And then I got to get under that one. But I can hear the cars from the bridge that's right down yonder. So at least I'm getting close to the first bridge. It is 12:04, so like 4 hours on this section so far. The math ain't gonna math very well if the next section takes 4 hours to the next bridge, and then the next one after that takes 4 hours too. I'm not gonna make it by dark, so I should at least be able to make it to the second bridge and then make a decision on if I got enough time to make it down to Aiken State Park or if I need to call somebody. But I ain't gonna end this video quite yet because I do want to make it to this bridge and show you that. So hopefully, if I can get through this kerfunkel right here, the next video will be me at the next bridge. Well, it happened to me. If you can see my boat here, you know what happened. That damn thing right there. I don't know if you could tell where the limb broke on it, but it had a limb off the edge of it that I didn't realize was underneath the boat. I got off, I got everything over it, went to step in the boat, that limb broke, and we all tumbled. So I was soaking wet, now I'm definitely wet, and even my boots are wet. I'm over here in the grass on the edge of the river, bailing out my boat. It happens to the best of us. I can honestly say I've only done that like 3 times in my whole life. And one time I was fishing, the other time was in the ocean. I was trying to ride waves. So I got a decent track record, but you always got to be careful because anything can happen. That's why I will always wear my life jacket. But I'm gonna bail the boat out. My shoulder did get tweaked a little bit, so I honestly am not sure if I'm gonna get Beth to pick me up at this next bridge or if I'm gonna continue on. It depends on how well I can get the boat cleaned out and how my arm feels getting to this next bridge. But accidents do happen. Like, this is a good example that, you know, even with the most experience, that anything can happen like that. So I'm lucky that I was okay. I'm lucky that, you know, I was able to step right out on the sand. I did go completely under. I got submerged. But I got the boat over here to the edge. This isn't the best place in the world to empty the boat out of water because it's soppy because the water's high. I'd rather be on that bank over there or another high bank. But I'm gonna get as much out of here as I can, paddle to a high bank, get the rest out, and kind of analyze where I'm at. But I'm gonna end it here for now, and I'll give you an update here in a bit on whether I continue on or if I just if I tap out. It is what it is. I can tap out if I want to. I'm a grown ass man. And we'll see. It looks like my dry bags did stay dry. Anyway, remember, if you're on the river, you got to be careful. Anything can happen. I'm very lucky. That's why I always wear my life jacket. It's just water in the boat. I'm gonna bail it out. These boats don't sink, I can tell you that, which is another good thing. So just always be careful. So I made it to the bridge. Got the boat cleaned out, the water out of it and everything. So let me straighten myself up so I don't go back in the drink. I'm gonna continue on. I might take out at the second bridge, I don't know. I was worried about my shoulder hurting after falling off the dang log or whatever. But I think I'm okay. So we're gonna push forward. There's the old bridge. This one doesn't really have a good road access anyway, so I would have to drag my kayak through that to get it up to the truck. And I might could just paddle over there if I really wanted to, that little creek. But no, we continue. No need to stop now. Because face it, I was already wet. And if the volume and everything on here ain't that great, it's because my phone's been in the water too, because it was in my life jacket pocket. It's waterproof, but I think it messes with the speakers a little bit. But my sunflowers didn't get wet though. They was in my jacket pocket. They stayed dry. They was folded over. That's some good news. I was already wet, so I mean, it wasn't like I got any wetter than what I was. My feet got wet, which weren't wet before. And I'll probably take these boots off if I find me a good little bank and pull over for lunch, because I am going to eat lunch here soon. But I got flip-flops. I'll put them on, let my feet dry out. Probably take these bottom parts of these pants off and let them dry out too. I ain't gonna put on my other change of clothes yet, but how about that? That's what I'll do. Whenever I find me a good bank, I'll come back, finish this video out, and give you another update. So this is gonna be my little lunch spot here. Got me a nice little seat somebody decided to leave me, old log. I'm gonna get out of these boots right here. I'm gonna turn my pants into shorts because they're convertible, and put my flip-flops on, because all I'm doing is sloshing in these boots and my toes ain't digging in. But we're making it along. I might even take this shirt off. It's warming up a bit. All this shirt is soaking ass wet. It ain't really protecting me from nothing. I will tell you two things. The thing I don't like most about this last section this section of river that I'm doing, holly trees. We don't really deal with holly trees down around the Springfield area, and even below that. I don't have to really deal with holly trees up here. Half the trees that are across the river, or at least hanging down into the river, holly trees. And there ain't nothing like getting pushed through a holly tree and getting stabbed 14,000 times. But I'm gonna grab me some beef jerky, get changed, and then I'll show you me shoving off. We're gonna continue on down to the next bridge. I got me some beef jerky. I got my pants cut or zipped down to shorts. I'll be honest with you, took my underwear off and everything because they were soaking wet. I'm gonna leave my shirt on for now. I might take it off next time I stop. Love me some Bridgeford. Not sponsored, but hey, if you want to, holla at your boy. Anyway, the other thing that gets on my nerves down here is these darn black ants. Every time I pull up to a tree and pull over a tree, they get on me and they bite me. And they it's almost like a sting instead of a bite. And it kind of hurts. So, but I got 2 more minutes of rest because it's 12:58. I'm gonna push off here at 1 o'clock. I can call Beth and check in with her, let her know I was okay. But round this out here. bring you up next time something interesting happens or I see something interesting. So it's been a fun trip so far. I'm glad it's not raining. Still completely soaking ass wet, but it is what it is. So next stop's gonna be Wagner Road Bridge, right there out of Kitchen's Mill. And one we just went through was Coleman Bridge, if you're trying to keep up to where I'm about at. So the one we just went under was the Coleman Bridge, and then we got the Wagner Road Bridge there, and then it'll be straight down from there to the state park. So let's get back to it. It's 1 o'clock. Told you I'd bring you back when I saw something interesting. Looks like somebody's siphoning water out of the river here. I can't tell if they got like a little patch of ground up there that they're watering, like a garden or a small farm plot or what, but it's a pretty big pump. Pretty big pump. I know there was a big uproar a couple years ago, quite a few years back, about Walter Farms putting in their pump. I don't know if we'll get to go by that today or not, but if we do, I'll pull that up and show it to you too. This one looks pretty old though. I don't even know if they still use it, but it's there, and the hose goes into the river. But anyways, interesting, very interesting. I don't know if you can read the sign, but evidently this is Swamp Heaven, the area I'm at now, right next to Old Boy Deer Stand. I will say that there is a house like right over there. So if you get in this area, be really careful, because they've got TVs and targets and everything else down here by the river, and it looks like they shoot from their back porch at those targets. So if you are kayaking down here and you get down to this point, be careful. If you hear them shooting, I would yell and let them know you're down here, because they're literally shooting straight into the river at them targets. So now I have to get over this log. Well, I've gone quite a ways since I had to get out the boat. I've done some skinny miniing, some pulling or sliding under, and some going through, but I hadn't had to go over where I got out. I have gone over quite a few and been able to pull over or paddle over them. But this is a get outer. And that right there might also be a get outer, but I think it's low enough that I can scoot over it. But this one is the first one I'm getting out on since I fell in the river. So I'm a little skittish, a little shaky, given my last experience. Plus I got flip-flops on this time. So I have seen more big deer today than I have seen in a long time. You want to shoot big deer, evidently you need to be right down here on the river, because I have jumped up at least 10 deer that were 8 points or larger since I've started this trip today. And I kid you not. And some of them I hadn't been able to count the horns on because they run off too quick. But yeah, and if you can't tell, I don't know if I can get, let me see if I can get you close enough. Those little things right there, those little ants, are the spawn of the devil, because they hurt when they bite. Like, I get ant bit a lot working on the farm. I just kind of shake it off, knock them off, it ain't no problem. Their bite lingers. It's like, once you get bit by one of them, you're going to feel it for a while, and it's going to agitate you. I'm stalling. Let me get on over this log. So I made it over. No problem. Problem is, let me show you. Problem is it's not just sliding over this log, it's getting over that other log down there. And it's not a very pretty looking log. But behind me, there's a little, let's see if I can show it. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little cut through in the swamp there that I'm going to try to use to get around this. It might be worse than what I'm going towards, it might be better than what I'm going towards. I'm banking on it being better, obviously, because that's a lot of nastiness in front of me. Plus, one of those damn freaking ants bit me right in the finger when I was getting over that last log, and my finger's throbbing now. So I'm gonna push through this little cut through. Hopefully when I get out on the side, I'm gonna bring you back on the video, or if I can't get on the other side, I'll get on the other side of this big log and then I'll bring you back on the video, let you know what I chose. That was probably one of the furthest cut throughs that I've done. I mean, that was straight swamp paddling, but it did bring me out to the main river and was definitely a lot easier than getting over that damn big ass log jam. So if the water's high, you can do stuff like that. If it's not high, well, you're just stuck with the main river channel. So like I said, some people don't like to paddle it when it's high. I don't like to paddle it when it's like crazy high, but I don't mind it being out of the bank some, because it allows you to kind of sneak around what could be some pretty troublesome obstacles. But having a good time. I can hear the cars at the other bridge. I still think I got a good little ways to go. I feel like I'm a little past halfway. But, you know, somebody's field up there. But it's good. It's 1:48. Well, it had been going smooth, but you know how things go. If they start going too smooth, you better start wondering what's going on, because something big's about to happen. I made it through that. I had to cut that little limb there, push through here, got up on this cypress log, and I got over to the other side of it. I was like, oh, dang, something stinks. So, they got a deer carcass right here. I don't know what happened to said deer. It has been there for quite a while, and it stinks pretty bad. And the really crappy part about it is with the way the boat's positioned and everything, and this cypress tree that I'm on, I'm gonna have to pull my boat over here, kind of through where that deer carcass is out to the left, and then go this way so I can get back to the river. And then I think I'm gonna take the cut through, because there's a little cut through there, instead of jumping this log and staying in the main river, because I'm tired of jumping logs, and hopefully that cut through will work. But it's pretty rank right now, so I'm gonna get a move on, because I'm tired of smelling this rotten ass deer. Update on the cut through. I'm bottomed out right now, but it's okay. I got enough water. I'll push through to the front part. I'm hoping that somewhere up here it comes to the river, because right now all I got swamp. But at least I'm away from that nasty deer carcass. And I got all the stuff out of my beard and off my hat, because I didn't realize that until I recorded that video. But I have been going through. If you're scared of spiders, this is not for you, because I've gone through about 12,252 spider webs, all of them with a spider at least that big on it. But I'm gonna get through this little swampy portion, hopefully get out to the main portion. I ain't too far from the bridge, so hoping to make it there shortly. But I'll show you if I can find the exit here too. I'd prop y'all on my little thing, but it messed up, so I can't really prop you there and paddle you with me right now until I can get that fixed. And I really need a pair of pliers to get that fixed, because it's over tightened and the wrong way. But anyways, let me show you the front at least. So yeah, that's what I'm floating. You can see the bottom. I'm gonna go that way. I was gonna go that way, but that tree prevented that. So we're taking the left-hand route. I thought I could get through there, not so much. So let's hope that this leads to the river, and that I wasn't just stupid for taking the cut through instead of jumping over 3 more logs. It was a little rough. I had to get out the boat though. I did have to like push on the sand or whatever. I was paddling through some shallow areas, but there's the river. I made it back through all that junk. And I'm gonna continue on down. I've gotta be quiet so I don't spook and piss these things off. Check it out. Some more Edisto River hornets. I ain't messing with that, dude. That's why you always gotta keep your eyes open and stay very aware of your surroundings. Them some bad boys right there. There it is. There's the next. Uh-oh. Of course, look what we've got before we get there. Well, there is the next bridge right there. I'm not sure that this is the way I'm going to get to it. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But that's a darn way to get to the bridge, right? Like, oh, we're right here at the bridge. Oh no. One last cluster. Anyways, I'm going on down to Aiken State Park. It's 2:49. So, I mean, I think I can get it done in 4 hours from here to Aiken State Park, especially after I get through this mess, or around this mess. So that's going to be my goal. So I'm going all the way, despite falling in the river, turning the kayak over and everything else. So I'm going to bring you back after I get through, however I get through this. So I'm essentially fucked. Can you see that right there? That is a down power line blocking the entire river. And I'm a different kind of screwed, because I'm here underneath the bridge. There is not a good way to exit here. I don't have very much service. And I'm pretty upset about it. I'm not even going to lie to you, because, I mean, I don't want to quit my trip over some stupid bullshit like that. I'm not even really sure who to call, to be honest with you. I guess it's 911 and ask for a non-emergency emergency. But it's not like they're gonna come out here in 10 minutes and pick that sumbitch up. And I don't even care if they tell me it's not live. I ain't touching that sumbitch or getting nowhere close to it. So that is some bull crap, man. That's not cool. Not cool. There's like, I'm trying to look to see if there's like a way around it. Like, cause sometimes these bridges and stuff will have multiple accesses or whatever. Like, it's not just one bridge. It might have water going under 2 or 3 parts of the bridge, but I ain't seeing anything that looks relatively safe, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do. I'll update you on it, but that's some bull crap. I mean, that's dangerous. I'm sure not as many people are down here doing what I'm doing, but that is still dangerous. So whoever's power company that is, y'all need to get on that. I'll bring you back with an update, I guess. So I did what any good Samaritan is supposed to do in this situation. I reached out to 911, let them know that we have a cable down across the river that nobody can get over if they stay on the water. Looked like a power cable. I don't know anything about power cables. I just know it comes from the telephone pole. So she told me that there wasn't nothing she could do. I needed to call the power company. I asked her which power company. She said she didn't know, couldn't help me. And that was that. So kind of got left on my own. I called Aiken Electric Co-op. All I got was a machine or whatever. I had no way to report it because I don't have a number with them. I think this is Aiken Electric Co-op. I couldn't tell you. So yeah, trying to do the right thing and report down lines, and the system won't allow you to do it. That's awesome. 911 doesn't care. The co-op itself doesn't have a function where you can just report random stuff. If you call the basic number, it just gives you, especially on the weekend, just gives you an AI person or whatever. But anyway, luckily I do have a buddy that works for the power companies. He does that traveling power company stuff. I called him and we sent some pictures back and forth, and I'm pretty sure this is the Spectrum internet line that's going across the river, that they were just too lazy to hang up on the poles. So he said I wouldn't die if I pulled out here on the edge and drug over it or whatever. He said I could go under it, but it's too heavy to lift to go under, and obviously couldn't jump over it. So props to Brandon, my buddy. I told him if it wasn't a Spectrum line and it was a power line and I died, that he was going to have to say a speech at my funeral. He now doesn't have to do that because I'm alive. Now I got to get a move on because this took like an hour. It's put me a little behind schedule, but I'm about to head hopefully down to Aiken State Park with no more craziness like that. Either way, if you know somebody that can fix this, you better let them know. That's all I'm saying. That's dangerous. That is very dangerous, very scary, and there is not a good place to take out of the river right here. So if you're trying to do a trip like me, unless you're going to drag through all that crap behind me to try to get way up there to the actual bank, like, you're screwed. It could end a trip. So the main river was like just a jumbled mess. So I hit a little back creek channel, a little cut through channel, what I thought it was, a little swamp channel. And it started dying, but then it kind of cut off to the side. And I thought this was pretty cool. I eventually followed it. There's a pipe that goes underneath that really old mason work right there. But that's some pretty brick. Let me see if I can get a better view for you. Well, we got stuff falling in the woods. We got deer running through the woods too, but it's pretty cool, I thought. I like coming across old stuff like that. You could tell that brick's been there a while. There's jumped up 2 deer over there. But continues on in front of me. Let me just flip it around. And I assume with it matching up with this ditch here that it probably does eventually flow back into the river. So that's what we're hoping for. And hopefully we won't have any huge logs to get around on the way to the river. Or if we do, we can skirt them through the swamp. But a little side quest. There's definitely a little road there. Probably a little private road, I would imagine. But we're just going to ease on down. Check this out. I didn't even know that this was here or this was something I was supposed to go under. So I hope I didn't get too far off track, but it is still doing, like, underneath it is downriver. So that is an old bridge. Holy crap. And it looks like it covers over there too. So the river's probably split. It's probably a vein over there and a vein over here, and it'll probably come back together. But let's ease under this thing. Ugh, it's a little sketchy because I don't want to hit it or anything because it's got no support. Like literally all of its supports are rusted out that were there. But we made it under. All right. That's what we do it for. We do it for the adventure. Do it for the adventure. Let's see if I can get you around. I'm gonna pause real quick, see if I can get you around to look at the other side of the bridge. So we're back in the main river, and that was the main part of the bridge. Isn't that cool? Old-timey, if I ever seen it. Even got a little bench right there. It's got a bench on top of it, too. That's pretty cool. That's the kind of stuff I like to see on the river. Stuff from days gone by. Anyways, I'm gonna ease on down. Well, trip is ending out. I can see the kayaks in the distance at the Aiken State Park. Let me show it to you. So I don't know if you can see the color off in the distance, but that is the Aiken State Park kayak ramp there. That's where they do the put in for their Aiken State Park canoe and kayak trail on the river. And they keep it fairly clean too, so I'll even say they go up here a good ways and keep it clean as well, because from that last bridge that I showed y'all, that old bridge I showed y'all, to here, it's been really smooth paddling. A couple of little things here and there, but not bad at all. I've taken this last bit of the trip pretty easy. Just kind of enjoyed floating, not paddling that hard because I knew I was close. Jumped up a lot of deer, jumped up some ducks. I've had a good time. But I'm glad I didn't call it quits either when I turned my boat over. So glad all that turned out well. But I'm gonna get on up here. I'll show you the facilities when I get up here too, because like I said, they keep it nice, and they have rental canoes and kayaks for their little trail that you can use here at the state park. They've got several ponds here at the state park. They've got ponds you can swim in here at the state park, spring-fed ponds. And they have a flowing well up here too. I really like Aiken State Park. It's kind of like a hidden gem for those of us that live nearby. So we camp here sometimes, and we only live like 25 minutes down the road. 15, 25 minutes, depending on how fast you drive. Anyways, I'm gonna get pulled up here. They even have like a nice little walkway and everything for you to drag your boat up. Can't say enough good things about Aiken State Park. But today has been a good adventure. I can add more river miles to my overall total that I've gone on the South Edisto and Edisto Rivers. Next weekend, maybe, I can add some more. Go up even further. And see how high we can go before it's just too much. See, they've even got the little canoe and kayak run up right there. Water gauge, looks like it's around 9 foot. So I'm gonna see how far I can run it up on the wood thing right now and get me a little running start. I didn't do that bad. My legs is sore from sitting down and doing rocking to get over some of them logs. So let me get up and get this thing dragged up. I'm not gonna lie, I busted my ass just now. It's slick as owl shit down there. I'm telling you what, I stepped out and I didn't even think about it being wet and slick, and I busted it. I tweaked my other shoulder. Ugh. It'll be all right. Suck it up, Buttercup. We're gonna drag on out here. The crappy thing about falling right there was my pants were almost dry, and I slipped my ass in the water. The only truck here at the ramp right now too. Let's go check out the spring. That's fresh drinking water right there. If I was thirsty, I could drink that. Pretty cool. Flows right into the river. And it is cold. Comes out the bowels of my earth, or of the earth, as my grandpa would say. Let me get this boat loaded up. Boat's in the truck. Getting ready to take it to the house, take me a hot shower, and finally get dry after a long day of paddling. I think we covered 11 and a half miles, something like that. River miles too, not by the crow flies or nothing like that. But it was a good time. To me, the saddest part of the trip is always the end of the trip, because usually a couple last mile or two before we get to the takeouts, typically the best one, because you're not in a hurry or you kind of settled into your rhythm and stuff, which is why I like multi-day trips. But I work, so I can't do multi-day trips all the time. But maybe I'll get to do another weekend trip next weekend or another weekend soon. I know we got the got a holiday coming up on like the 1st of September or something, so I'll have a long weekend that weekend. Maybe I can pull something off. But I appreciate y'all watching me. Y'all take care. Lord willing, I'll see y'all next time.